Over there, whatever. Hey guys, so we're obviously recording from upstairs in our loft space right now. I have Stefan with his lovely jorts on. He's going to do more of the movements. I'm going to try and talk more through them. We're going to go ahead and try and get rock and rolling. I am going to set up a secondary camera just as a backup, just in case. What we're going to do is just start in a comfortable seat, however it looks like. So, if you remember from earlier, I had kind of mentioned about a block or your makeshift block. In my situation, I have Cook's Illustrated with a little handy dandy towel that I'm going to wrap over it. Stefan over to his side. It has one of the Harry Potter books.
Would you guess which one?
Now, if they watched earlier, it's Deathly Hallows. So this is a way you can pop your hips up on the block just to elevate them. Get a little bit of a release here. So, comfortable seat, legs can be outstretched, they can be crisscrossed in front of you, whatever is going to feel better for you. Hands can rest, palms down or palms up, whatever's more comfortable. And start to notice your breath here. Allow your eyes to close or take a soft gaze where everything kind of along your peripheral vision starts to fall out of focus. And just start to breathe. Inhaling through the nose for about a count of 6. Give yourself a slight pause at the top, and then exhale through the nose for about a count of 6 with a slight pause at the bottom of the breath. Just noticing how your chest feels as you inhale, filling your belly, filling your chest, and on your exhale, sinking a little deeper into the posture, allowing your shoulders to relax down, hips to relax down, gaze to soften, neck to loosen. We're going to move through a course very similar to what we do on Sundays at the gym. Much more restorative, much more chill out styled. I'll show a couple of different variations. You'll probably see Stefan and I vying for a little bit of space in the camera. You also may see our dog kind of come into frame, maybe out of frame, possibly bark if someone knocks on the door. It happens. As you're breathing here, think of one thing that made you smile today. I'm seeing a couple of things pop up, so give me one moment. I'm going to creepily crawl over towards the camera to make sure. Hi, Nicole. Because I have such great eyesight. So kind of going back to what I was saying, think of something that made you smile today. Whether it was that kind of sarcastic smirk or like a full-on belly laugh. Think about that. Think about that sensation, that feeling, that lightheartedness that came with it. We are going to move into a child's pose to start. So with the child's pose, I am going to have us start with our knees close together. So knees together, big toes touch behind you. Hips are on your heels. Hands will walk in front of you. And just allow yourself to sink forward here. Allowing forehead to relax to the mat here. The reason why I like bringing the knees together to start is it allows your low back to have something to fold over. So especially people who are working from home or are having really long days because they are in the healthcare profession, bringing your knees together just allows your low back to get a little bit of a release. And we're going to spend about a minute here. So, since you can't look at a clock, you should be looking down at the ground here. It is about a 10 to 15 count, depending on how quick you count. This is more of a count like on the microwave or when you're trying to wait for a WOD to finish of a 10 to 15, not a tempo squat 10 to 15 where we're counting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We get another little wave over there. Sorry guys, my computer's kind of far away, so I can't really see. Through this practice, just reminding yourself of what made you smile today. That's all we're focusing on, is just getting through today, helping wrap up what you've been through today. So whether it was something funny your kid did, or what have you, doing burpees in the grass and realizing that, oh, I really need to cut my grass, Instagram story. We're going to stay in a child's pose, but we are going to make a slight adjustment here. Big toes are going to stay together. Knees are going to go out towards the side. So if you're on a yoga mat, we're pointing them out towards the edges of the mat and allowing yourselves to sink here. So getting nice and low, allowing the forehead to relax. So by pushing the knees out, we're introducing a little more sensation into the hips. Our chest is allowed to sink a little further. Stefan's going to be my demo for most of the time. Someone just give him a thumbs up for wearing like Born Primitive jorts through this. I'm going to offer a few things throughout this practice, ways to modify poses, ways to think about things. And what sentiment I'm going to offer to everybody is the idea of gratitude. It's something we kind of throw around a lot. Gratitude journals, self-help journals, whatever. But being grateful for what you have in this moment. Because we do have quite a bit. We will move from child's pose into puppy dog pose. So if you saw my YouTube debut yesterday, might recall that it's going to be knees are going to come in underneath your hip sockets. Hips are going to stay lifted. Hands will walk forward. It's going to introduce a lot of sensation into that upper back area here. And just allow yourself to relax. This is going to be one of the first places beyond where we were sitting where you can do the makeshift bolster to help deepen the posture. In this pillowcase are 2 rolled up towels. Stefan, I'm going to have you just lift up momentarily so I can slide this in underneath your forearms. And then allow yourself to sink a little deeper.
That's about as deep as I can go.
Smart ass.
I'm not kidding.
So by elevating your forearms ever so slightly, you're going to help get a little deeper into those lats. Help you a little bit more tension eased out of those shoulders. A few breaths here. Again, we're going for about a 6 to 8 count in this posture. You can use a bolster. You can also use those blocks to help elevate the chest ever so slightly. We're going to move out of this posture, coming into a tabletop. So the bolster or whatever makeshift bolster you have is going to slide to the side. Hands are going to walk in underneath those shoulder blades. We are going to move through cat and cow here. So allowing the belly to drop down, tailbone point up, gaze go up. And then push through the ground, curl your spine in like an angry cat, allowing that head to release. A small focal point here is allow your neck to be loose. So if you're moving through that cat posture, don't try and keep your neck up. Allow your head to fall down. And then moving through cow, allow yourself to just casually look up. Maybe looking to the side wall. We're going through this about 10 to 15 times, just allowing some additional movement. Once you hit 15, if you want to throw in those side body circles, where you're pushing hips and ribs in the opposite direction and moving to the side, making a C with your spine, or adding in those shoulder circles, allowing the movement to roll through that rib cage. Whatever movement's going to help your shoulders open up, your spine to be happy, your hips to be happy, so you can also do the hip drop side to side.
Pardon? Hip drop side to side.
Yeah, and just allow your hips to drop. Side,
Oh, I really drop.
side to side. But dropping them side to side, you might get a little more sensation along that outer portion of your hip. I felt a lot of stuff in the outer portion of my hip.
Right hip.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be more of like a moving meditation style practice. Willa, hey! She looks very intrigued by us right now. We're going to go for thread the needle. So we're going to start, that right arm is going to reach up overhead and thread behind that left wrist, bringing shoulder down here. That left hand can either slide forward along the ground or wrap around your low back, depending on what sensation you're needing. If you're needing a deeper stretch, getting into that side body, reach it along the mat. You need a deeper twist, allow it to wrap around your low back. 6 to 8 breaths here. Yeah, and like Stefan did, play with whichever one feels better. Hit each one. Whatever feels better, you hold that position. Instructing when you're not doing is just very awkward feeling. Just saying.
You're doing great.
It's a matter of just embrace the awkward at this point. Life is going to be a little awkward for the next week or so. When you're ready, we're going to untwist. Do the same thing on that opposite side. So right hand will plant, left arm will lift tall, thread behind that right wrist. I'm going to continue to talk a little bit about the idea of being grateful. So there are so many things that we have taken for granted in the weeks leading up to essentially not being able to work out at the gym and having our entire lives kind of turned upside down. Hugging somebody, hugging people that you know really well, the high fives, the fist bumps. Those are all things I personally have kind of taken for granted. I'm a toucher, I'm a hugger. And not being able to kind of give somebody a fist bump has been really weird for me. And I'm sure it's been weird for a lot of you guys. We're going to rotate out of the twisted, thread the needle, I'm sorry. And we're going to come to what a few people love and a few people hate. We're going to curl those toes under. We're going to sit back on those heels, trying to press all of our toes down. This will be a big plantar fascia stretch. So if you are like Stefan or I, where we've been walking a lot more than we typically do, Will has been getting about 5 miles every day. Your feet might be a little more sore than normal. Or maybe you're fortunate enough to have a bar top to where you can set your laptop on and work from, and standing up a lot more on like maybe a non-ergo or gel mat. Or it also might be the case you're one of the guys on the front lines where you're doing a lot of walking and working through the medical field. Kudos to you. This stretch will just allow for a nice passive sensation through that plantar fascia. As you need more, think about pressing more weight into your heels. You might also get a big sensation along that front part of your foot. We're going to be here for a few more breaths. If you need a break of posture at any point, it's not like I can tell you to stop. You can always back out like Stefan just did. Another couple breaths here, that's all. That's all I'm asking from you. All right, we're going to shift weight forward. Hands are going to come down. We're just going to tippy tap out those toes. So just kind of essentially beat those feet back and forth just to help get some sensation back. Now, we're going to bring our hips down to the ground. Feet are going to extend out in front of you. Yep. This is a nice little place where you can grab that block or that bolster and just elevate those hips. So I'm sitting on Cook's Illustrated right now. On my little towel, legs are going to extend in front of you. Hands can reach down. This is not, I'm trying to grab for my toes. This is, I'm just leaning forward. By elevating your hips slightly, you might be able to fold a little deeper into your forward fold. A lot of hamstring here, a lot of low back. If you did today's Metcon both at home or at the gym, legs might be feeling quite a bit of it. You can allow your head to hang heavy if that's comfortable for you, or you can keep a little tension, whatever's feeling good. I also didn't realize I gave Steph mismatching socks.
Story of my life.
Oh, shut up. You're worse. So something we have talked about when we've done our Sunday yogas is my want to have yoga blogs. This is going to be super helpful for anybody who has a lot of like top ankle issues. I'm going to do a side profile. We're going to bring that right foot to the outside of that right hip. Still sitting on the block here. By elevating your hips slightly as you lean back, I'm not going to lean fully back on you, Stephanie, you're good. By elevating your hips, you're taking a little bit of pressure off the top part of your ankle. And we're just going to lean back here. This will introduce a nice quad sensation. I'm going to try and keep knees together rather than going into a full straddle. Dog just did a very exasperated sigh in the background. You feeling something in your quad?
Ankle too.
Cool. Kind of goes wherever you're tightest. If there's an intention that you preferred over the idea of gratitude, please feel free. Let that be your thought. Let that happy thought, that smile thought today be what you come back to as I'm making you hold a position that might not necessarily be comfortable for your ankle. But as long as it's discomfort versus pain, continue to hold it. Meaning like, not comfortable, but still feels all right. But if it's like a sharp, jarring electric pain, back out, adjust the posture. Like Stephanie's doing. Don't worry, we're backing out of it in the next 5 seconds anyway. We're going to do the same thing on that opposite side. That right leg will go long. That left foot's going to come around to that outer portion of your left hip. And here might give you enough sensation. As you feel comfortable, you can lean back as far as you choose to take it. We'll do some more upper body stuff. We'll do a little bit more back work in a moment. As you can see some of the clutter of our upstairs space. Not that bad.
It's getting cleaner.
Holding here for just a little bit longer. Almost at that minute cap. We also casually have a little timer running off to the side because I need a clock to help make sure I'm holding postures. And if at any point a posture feels really good for you, hold on to it. If you need to back out, you back out. It's as simple as that. Speaking of backing out, we're going to back out of that posture. I'm going to have you slide that block out from underneath you. We're going to go for figure 4. We're going seated figure 4 here. So the fun way to kind of come into it is that right ankle is going to come on top of that left knee. And you can hold here. Looking at a side angle, as you need a deeper stretch, you do. All right. You can do that too. He's going to lay down with it rather than sit with it. That's fine. So here, pressing that chest forward, and as you need a deeper stretch, that heel can slide in. Chest presses forward. This will be a lot of outer hip area here. If this week has had a lot of big focus for you, and it's had a lot of focus for a lot of us, think of just how your body is feeling right now. Notice the stretch. Notice the odd reggae music we have in the background. Wanted to be somewhat kid appropriate. Couldn't do acoustic hip hop. Just saying, it's had some inappropriate lyrics. A few more breaths here.
Talk to Annie about making an album.
The Kids Pop album. And we're going to switch sides. So that right foot's going to touch down. That left ankle's going to come on top of that left knee. We're going to press ourselves forward, going for that big hip stretch here.
As far as I can go.
Your hips are real tight then.
No, it's my knee.
Oh, you need some
Fire log.
Yes.
It's about it.
That's fine. You don't have to like headbutt your knee.
But I want to.
You don't need to headbutt your knee.
Don't tell me I can't.
I never said you can. I said you don't have to.
Oh, you said don't headbutt your knee.
You don't have to headbutt your knee.
You just said don't.
Letter of the law.
Whatever the law.
A few more breaths here. It's going to be that next series where a block or bolster may come in super handy. I'm going to have Stefan demo as I kind of talk so he can take up most of the frame. We're going to go for a supported bridge pose. So, some of y'all saw this earlier. Nice little block bolster. Your hips are going to go on here.
Like so.
Like so. So hips are just gently lifted here. As you need a little bit more oomph, remember how we had those extra books laying around? Bridge up a little for me. I'm going to slide the book underneath that bolster. Lifts the hips a little more. Feeling good there?
Mm-hmm.
You need a little more?
Yeah.
So in a supported bridge, you want to keep your chin tucked. You don't want to start looking side to side. I know if you have a dog or kids or anything that either may be suspiciously quiet or making a lot of noise, step in. You don't have to look side to side. Like, I know it's something that happens. The more you can keep that chin tucked and add a little bit more length here, the more comfortable you should be. Hands can stay on the hips. They can also drop to the side if that feels good for you. We're going to move into a slight variation here where it's going to be a supported shoulder stand where Stefan will bring his knees together. Bend the knees in to about here. So lift the knees up. Feet will extend up. There you go. Just allow your feet to hang heavy here. Your hips will stay lifted. This is a supported shoulder stand. Now, I could be really mean if I wanted to. Again, readjust if you need to.
Book was taken in.
And that's why we have pillows to go for the books. Now, if you have a spouse or anything that's watching, here's a fun little thing to do. Hold on to the legs. I'm going to take my forearm and gently press on the balls of his feet and add a little bit of weight here. If you don't have a spouse or significant other or roommate in the room with you, you can also take that heavy blanket, which is my purple thing back there, and you can put the purple blanket on the tops of your feet, or on the balls of your feet. This should allow for a little bit more of a calf stretch, a little less effort with keeping your feet up because you can rest them against the person. You still good down there?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'm going to hold for a few more breaths here. My phone is casually going off in the corner. It's all good. When I back away from here, knees will bend. We're going to bring the feet back down to the ground. Soles of your feet are going to come together, and knees are going to drop out to the side. So bring your soles of feet together, knees drop out. Heels can bump out a little further if you need to. This will introduce a lot more sensation into your hip. Feeling more in your hip?
Mm-hmm.
Thank goodness jorts have a nice stretchy material. Give yourself breath here. Notice how you're breathing. Notice, is it slow? Is it unhurried? Are you breathing a little harder, a little faster than you really need to? Just keep it slow and keep it even. Allow it to fill your chest and your belly as your gaze goes soft or eyes close. Another 2 to 4 breaths here, depending on how fast you breathe. I'm very grateful that my husband allows me to have him be the demo person. So we're going to go into supported fish next. The blocker, the bolster, will need to slide out from underneath you. You can move through bridge pose, lift your hips, slide it out from underneath you. There you go. You can bring your hips back down. We're going to go supported fish pose, so legs will need to go long here. I'm going to go for my block or the bolster setup here. Can you sit up for me? The bolster towel setup is going to go right underneath his hips. I'm going to give you a little more support here. I'm going to take Cook's Illustrated and put it underneath one part, and then Deathly Hollows, put it underneath the other, and allow yourself to fold backward here. Allow hands to drop to the side as your head supported, shoulders supported. This is supported fish. Coming back to your breath here, coming back to whatever made you smile, what made you giggle today, whatever brought a little bit of humor and levity into your life today. Or it doesn't have to be levity and giggles. It can be that heartfelt feeling where you just kind of, a little bit of that emotional dump where it feels a little cathartic at the end of it. I shared with Stefan the Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet announcement to her husband that she was pregnant. Both of us cried, but it was like a really cathartic feeling after. Excuse me. Doing burpees in the grass is not great for allergies, just as a heads up. So in this posture here, I'm going to slowly start guiding you through a little bit of meditation here. Eyes will close. Breathing is soft, breathing is even. It is neither hurried, nor is it just too slow. It is not something we are keeping track of here. What we're going to notice is a warmth starting from the center of your chest. Like when you take a sip of really good whiskey or really good bourbon, and allow that warmth to build in the center of your chest. Allow it to ease down into your belly, soothing your butterflies here, almost dripping into your lower body like molasses or warmed honey. Pouring into your hips, releasing and easing your hips here. Down into your legs, easing any tension you're holding in your legs, to your calves, and the soles of your feet. So the entire lower half of your body is just warm and liquid, where your edges have started to kind of fade away here. And that warmth is going to radiate from your chest into your shoulders, easing any tension here. Maybe just allowing gravity to pull your shoulders open a little bit more here. Allowing that warmth to travel down your arms and out the fingertips. Allowing wrists to ease here. A lot of people probably been writing and typing a lot. Allow that warmth to travel into your throat, easing your voice here. Into your jaw, loosening your jaw, especially if you're prone to clenching or my grinders at night. Allow your jaw to hang heavy. If your mouth is open, it's fine, as long as you don't have a kid that wants to stick their finger in it. You're good. Oops. Go back, Pam. I'm not done yet.
Oh.
I'm not done with you. technical difficulties happens on your first time doing this. So allow that jaw to loosen. Allow the warmth to still travel throughout your body here. And allow the warmth to travel into your temples and your forehead. Easing your forehead because maybe some of you have been firming your brow a little bit more than normal. And then allow that warmth to travel out the crown of your head until your entire body is just warm and relaxed here. Allowing everything to be heavy and supported. Normally, I would have a reading that I could pull off of my phone, but I'm going to share some little tidbits that I use throughout a lot of my practices. Since our focus has been gratitude for this, or laughter, I'm going to end with something that I like to say. I hope that you find that type of love in your life, and it doesn't have to be romantic love. It's platonic love that fills you, that makes you want to be a better person, that helps soothe you and comfort you when you're at that bottom point, because we all have it. I hope you find that love that helps you grow. I hope you find the love that allows you to stand steady and tall. And I hope most of all that you find that love in your life and the community in your life that makes you want to be a better person, that makes you grateful for what you have around you, and helps you pull strength from that gratitude. To continue to move here, as our dog sighs in the background, I'm just going to have you roll to the side to slide that block or bolster or whatever you're using out from underneath you. I'm going to pull it out from underneath you stuff. And you're going to come back onto your back. If you've been in my Sunday class, you may be familiar with this little technique that I like to do. Arms are going to reach up overhead, toes are going to point down. I'm going to want you to clench everything really tight on that inhale, really, really tight on that exhale, release. On that next inhale, tighten everything. Squeeze your quads together, furrow your brow, clench your jaw, get really, really tight. On your exhale, release. On your next inhale, again, tighten everything up. Notice where you're holding all that tension. And on your exhale, release every bit of tension you can from your body. Allowing your feet to kind of fall to the side, palms to relax, open, hips are open, forehead smooth. You're going to roll to the side, what I like to call the couch nap position, where your head can be supported by your arms. And allow your body to process everything that you've just done. That stretch, that release. Notice that maybe your shoulders are holding a little less tension. Maybe your hips are a little looser. Your jaw might be a little looser because I know I'm prone to clenching my jaw when I'm working too much. And give a little saying, a prayer, or what have you, of gratitude for me, it is the people in this community. I hold an immense amount of gratitude. Y'all are helping me stay sane through all of this. It could be a gratitude towards a spouse that maybe has stepped up and helped really with a certain aspect, or towards your kids for making you laugh and helping you remember those small things, or your dog for reminding you to get the heck outside. The weather today was gorgeous, rather than getting stuck at a desk all day or kitchen table. When you're ready to move, you can push yourself into a comfortable seat. Allow it to look however it needs to look. Legs can be outstretched in front of you. You can crisscross your legs. Whatever works. You feeling a little looser?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, because you're still on call this week.
Mm-hmm.
So ideally, we'll be doing a few more classes like this. As we do this, it will smooth out. I'm in the process of opening up one of our bedrooms for me to make a few more better recordings. But I want to thank you for letting me guide your practice today. Hopefully this has helped ease whatever's going on in your life. We got a lot going on. Cheers, guys. I'm going to awkwardly come up to the computer to turn off my live stream.
Together.
Oh, no, that's very creepy. That is really creepy, guys.
Bye.
Bye.